looking at the sites as they were still being built. When you go there, there is just the most incredible amount of variety and diversity, both within the Chinese pavilion. I wasn't allowed inside because it was a very carefully guarded secret, which will be revealed very soon. But outside, if you look at the diversity both of what's going on inside China, but what's going on in the world, this really is a post-imperial age. That's what's exciting about the age that we live in now. The 21st century is a globalized post-imperial age, and I think that will be one of the very big messages from Shanghai.
The opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics was described by Western media as the crown jewel of China's rise. Now, if you look at the shape of the Chinese pavilion in Shanghai this time around, does it like a kind of coronation? I mean, China is well on its way to being yet another center of the world economics and politics.
Well, I agree with Peter. This is China's show because China is the host. So if you want to build one, I read China's building structure is 3 times taller than any average other province. It's fine. It's very striking. The good color, fortunate,
the Chinese
traditional element, but it's good. It's a good opening, and China is supposed to do that. The expectation for China is very high. After showing the Olympics, saying now you better do better, so everybody is saying what's coming in the stock of this opening ceremony. But it's not as dramatic because you're selling a lot of TV footages, broadcasting rights for revenue in the case of Olympics. In this case, you have sustainability. So as we talk about other pavilions, for example, we have many good ones. The Canadian one is a very good one, very striking, which I'm going to take my kids to come back during the summer vacation of their school time, probably visiting first Canadian pavilion, and then maybe Chinese, and maybe the British one, and then go on. Yeah, that's. I think it's very interesting to just go through this. But again, the Chinese population is really the gain from going into these places. You can have many visitors, but not all the school kids from other parts of the world can have the privilege to just travel this far to come here.
Peter and Wenran, what do you think of the wisdom of spending up to $45 billion on the construction of the facilities, not only in the area of the World Expo, but undertaking a massive facelift operation throughout the whole city of Shanghai, which boasts of a population of 20 million. I mean, during the run-up to the opening of the World Expo in Shanghai, up to 400 kilometers of subway could be completed. And of course, Beijing vows not to lag behind in the near future. What do you think of the construction boom? Does it help when, as Han Han, the most popular blogger in China, says, our living costs are 5 times that of the Westerners. However, our salaries only 1/5. And yet we have to put on a big smile on our face and give a warm welcome to tourists and foreign visitors from other parts of the world. What do you make of the implications, the ironic aspects?
I'm not quite sure how Han Han's living costs are 5 times my living costs, but what I would say is...
Look at the housing prices. Look at the
housing prices. The housing prices are huge, but they're also huge in my country. But what I would say is that in Beijing, if I'm a Beijing resident, after the Beijing Olympics, one of the lasting legacies of the Olympics was a much improved infrastructure in Beijing, a wonderful metro which has massively expanded. Shanghai will get the same thing. It's been a spur to a lot of infrastructure development which would have taken place anyway, but it's given people an objective and a time frame, and the pace at which this has been achieved has been remarkable. We're using the London Olympics in the same way. We will use that for some significant infrastructure development in the UK, and we will produce the largest urban park that's been built for 150 years after the London Olympics. So I think these big projects that give people a goal are a very useful way of inspiring a population and focusing attention. I think it's a good thing and not a bad thing. In terms of the investment that we're making, the UK is making, we think it's worth every penny, and we think it's worth every penny because we want to send an innovative, dynamic impression of the UK. But you can also, and this is my little plug, Yang Rei, you can also see it on the web if you don't have time to go and see it for yourself. www.ukshanghaiexpo.com.
You are a wonderful salesman.
You're doing a good job.
Okay, I could do that.
You know what? Canada hosted
again a salesman of the Canadian
Canada
pavilion.
hosted twice World Expo in 1967 in Montreal, which is probably